Let's get to our guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Toyota of Hollywood. The great Brady Hawk joining us here from Five Reasons Sports. This man, if you are following Miami Heat hoops, you're following Brady Hawk at Brady Hawk 45. All right, dude. Before we get into the ins and outs of yesterday, hear me out on this. Wasn't Fishy up with that shot clock yesterday to stop the momentum?
Man, I joked around. I'm surprised I wasn't the pool reporter for that game where I had to go question the refs. So I'm thankful I wasn't in Orlando for that game. Look, isn't that the second time that's happened? I mean, it happened in Miami recently where they had to kind of mess with the shot clock. I don't know what's going on recently, and I feel like that game it kind of messed up their mojo a little bit too. But it did. Look, Miami's been trending in this direction where they're slowing down as the game goes on anyway. And I'm not going to sit here and call you crazy that momentum shift kind of slowed them down a little bit.
Brady. Listen,
I can't call him crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, Adam Silver didn't want the Miami media in Vegas for those questions. He didn't want that. All right, so I'll just leave it to you. Give us your top couple of things right now. What the hell's going on? Like, what do you think it is?
Well, I'll say number one. I mean, we came into this season saying that this team wasn't going to be a good 3-point shooting team, and I mean, they're kind of showing their true colors right now. I think that's kind of the number one thing. The issue is, and I kind of compare it to the teams of the Jimmy era, where their 3-point shooting came from their role players. Where it was Caleb, it was Gabe, it was Max, it was Duncan, it was all the way down the line. That you knew you were going to get a certain level of 3-point shooting from your role players, where you had Jimmy and Bam and others that could be themselves. This version of this team, your two best scorers have to be your best 3-point shooters. You need Tyler and Norm to be able to get up a bunch of threes, be able to make a bunch of threes. That's the way that they're going to have to survive. And that's just not the case right now. Like I'm looking at the way the teams are defending them, and it's pretty much they're saying, we're going to take you out of the game from three. I mean, Tyler, we saw what he was 0 for 6, but I think he had one open three maybe. I remember the corner three where he was wide open. But other than that, he's just kind of not being able to get up clean threes in general. Norm was able to get him up. I mean, he was not shy about that. He was getting up 3 after 3. But he just couldn't find his rhythm, where teams are pretty much saying, like, 2-point us to death. Like just keep driving into the lane, take those certain shots, and we're just going to shoot threes and play at this level that this new NBA is played at. So I'd say that's the number one thing. They have to figure out this offensive part, which is just getting up more threes. That's number one. And then, as Spo keeps saying, the offense and missed shots keeps leading into the defense. I mean, Miami's still a top 5 defense, which is crazy to say, as bad as they've looked over the last few weeks. That's because of what they did early in the season. I mean, they worked up so much ground early in the season where they became a top 5 defense, and it slipped as of late. And they've still kind of been in the mix a little bit, but that has to be figured out because they're running these different lineups. I know he blames it on, the Kel'el Bam pairing for a little bit, where that's kind of tanking the defense a little bit. And there's certain things that he's pointing at, but it's like, I don't see many lineups that have been good defensively. It just feels like they've been a mess on that end before.
He picks on Kel'el. I feel like Kel'el is like,
the scapegoat.
Yeah.
The scapegoat for every time something goes wrong.
Like yesterday I get it. He was a minus 15 in his 12 minutes, but like he was kind of on the floor with the Desmond Bane heater. And I just like, I don't know, Brady. I just think that we all saw the jump felt like it was happening, and you're almost tying your hand behind your back, limiting this guy and what he can do.
Miami went big in the first 2 games against Orlando. I mean, they started Nico in the season opener. They played Kel'el in the recent game about a week ago. It felt like they were, maybe if they didn't start them together, it felt like Bam and Kel'el needed a bulk of minutes together just to kind of find a spark. And look, in the middle of that game, could it have gotten worse? Like, I mean, if he's thinking the defense is taking a hit, I don't know how the defense could have gotten worse with them on the floor. At least they would have cleaned up the boards. They would be able to push in a certain direction. I felt like Kel'el Bam lineups have been really good offensively. That's just not even looking at the numbers. That just feels like a combo that, I mean, Kel'el's been shooting the ball well. He's been active on the roll. He's been doing a lot of stuff there. Bam's and him have not really gotten in the way of each other. It feels like they fit together. So I'm with you there. I mean, I think Kel'el, they're in a position now, especially with the way they're trending. I mean, losing this many games in a row, I'd rather them lose with their young guys that you're trying to figure out what you have than do it the opposite way. Like, I'd rather them figure this stuff out with guys like this. So 12 minutes for Kel'el, I don't think should ever happen. I mean, they've kind of staggered them a bit where they're not playing together anymore. And I feel like that's just what's going to happen when they're fully healthy. I mean, when they have 11, I guess, quote unquote, playable guys, but they have 11 guys that they're going to work into the mix a little bit. I'd like to see a little bit more of Kel'el, both next to Bam and without him. He was such a spark on that run when he was getting all those double-doubles and playing well offensively. And when he plays well offensively and he's aggressive, he's even better defensively. I just feel like when Kel'el's playing at a high level more than anybody else in this team, this team is a better basketball team. Like when he is the energy, they feed off of him. So I'm with you there. They have to kind of lean back into this. They just have to.
Oh, what are we going to do about every team just saying we're going to pick on Tyler?
I mean, this has been the conversation for a little while. It just say they don't really have an answer for it. It feels like a lot of the ways I go back to that first game against Detroit where they were pretty much, we're going to double Cade every time he puts them in action, and then it's Duncan for a wide open three every play because they're helping off of him. So it's like they're in this little weird space where the questions are going to be, I mean, they haven't had it as of late, these many close games, but these close games, that's what teams are going to do. So it's either you figure it out or you're able to score at an incredibly high level at the end of games, which hasn't happened as of late. So it's like you have to pick one. If you're going to lean offense and throw Tyler and Norm and all these guys out there together at the end of games,
score.
You better score. You have to score. There's no other way around it. You're not going to be able to defend at a high level. So it's kind of a situation where it's like Spo has to kind of pick one or the other. It's like go big and kind of wall up behind these guys, which he doesn't seem to want to tend to do, or you better just score with your smaller lineup. So it's kind of a situation where I don't really know what they're going to do about that. It's just teams are going – the book is out on that. I mean, teams are going to continue to do it, especially with like guys like Powell, like Cade. Like I mean, these it's more so these bigger teams that have like their 1A guy that could just pretty much pick on him whenever he wants. And they're going to have to figure that out. There's no really clear answer to that.
Will that be the next step in the evolution of this team is when they figure out how to win games that kind of differ from what they want to play? So like they played, Orlando however many times, and it just looks the same. You're getting bullied. You're getting pushed around a little bit. Your little guys are getting picked apart. Do we have a solution or an answer to combat that? They tried the zone. They've tried a lot of stuff, but then the other team turns around, does the zone you, and dare you to shoot the three because you're not shooting it well. And the next thing you know, you're losing by 15.
There's a common thread between a lot of these losses as of late. I mean, these teams are built the same way. Like teams with positional size, like I mentioned Detroit and Orlando, I think they're perfect examples. They really can get to Miami. I just don't like the matches with the Miami when they have these bigger overall teams because for one, it slows them down completely. Like you talk about them getting into different parts of their games and be able to, because I mean, I remember past teams where they were able to win in the mud. That was kind of their main way of winning. I don't love this team winning in the mud, like this version of this team. Like it feels like these bigger teams that are able to slow them down and make the game a little weird are just not their best interest. They are just such an offensive heavy scoring team that it's like either they're clicking on all cylinders where they're able to run up and down the floor and score a bunch and do all these certain things, or there's no other alternative. It's just that or that. So I don't know really how they combat that. I mean, that's kind of the theme of this new offense, though. I mean, when they implemented this new offense, this was kind of the downside of it because it's been implemented in other areas. I mean, Memphis did it and kind of fell down, crashed pretty quickly because of the factor that there's not really a plan B in a lot of ways when teams get to you early, when they slow you down, when they pick you up a half court, when they go zone, as you say, and not let you get downhill or not making you take a bunch of threes. So this is kind of the interesting part of the season to me because they're going to have to really make some adjustments here. It's not that they're going to get rid of this offense that's been the talk of the year so far, but there is small adjustments that have to be made because at some point you're going to have to figure out the three-point thing. You're going to have to get your main scorers going. And look, you cannot have Davion Mitchell be your only playmaker. He had 9 assists last night. Wiggins, Bam, Tyler, Norm, your other 4 starters combined for 9 assists. So it feels like when Davion's working the wheel of the offense and attacking and playmaking, things are good. But when the others are going, it's like, I have to go score. I have to go get a one-on-one isolation bucket. And that wasn't the case early in the season.
Well, how much is Nico just being unplayable in Spo's eyes kind of ruined the plan? Because the thought was capable shooter, playmaker, ball in his hands, and you get size. They don't have a lot of size. And the fact that he's just been relegated to a 0. And look, I can't necessarily go against it because when he's been out there, he just looks like he's lost all confidence. But how much do you think that's just thrown a monkey wrench into the team?
It has. It's been huge. I mean, I thought he was going to be one of their most important players coming into the season. And I mean, that's kind of a crazy turnaround that we've seen where he's become pretty unplayable. I mean, he hasn't been able to kind of find his rhythm offensively. You mentioned him. I mean, he fit this offense to a T when the season first started. Theoretically, being able to kind of get the ball off the boards, run the break, be able to keep his head up, spray out. It was everything that you'd want with also, kind balancing lineups, just being a bigger player. I mean, I know we hated when he was playing the 5, but he's a pretty strong 4 to be able to kind of match up in a lot of ways with these teams. and he just hasn't been able to find his rhythm. I mean, there's been turnover problems. There's been all these certain stuff. So now the Heat are back to going small and trying to score, and we're seeing that catch up to them a little bit with some of these matchups. So the Nico thing is tough. I mean, now you're losing Kel'el for a little bit of time. Like, there's going to be this thing. I think the swing player to me over the next few games is Jaime Jaquez, just because they have to get him back in a rhythm. I mean, he was playing so well early in the season, and I don't think it's gone anywhere. I don't think that was a fluke or anything like that. I just think they've gone away from him a little bit. Like, it's kind of felt like with getting everybody back in the mix, he's the guy that's taking a hit to me, where he's not getting as many touches, many opportunities. So
he shouldn't be. Spo always talks about earning it.
Yeah.
Has anybody earned to be out there more than Jaime Jaquez?
Nah, he's been killing it.
Right.
So good, so efficient, so ability to fit this offense, get downhill, work. Like, I mean, he's been one of their best one-on-one players, which is what this offense is built around. It's like working your guy one-on-one and being efficient at the basket. Davion's been good at it, but Jaime Jaquez has been right there with him. So they're going to have to figure out a way, because a lot of this is, I mean, Norm or Tyler is pretty much always glued to his minutes because they're staggering the two. So it's like, it's not as often as it was during the season where it's just Jaime just out there, he's the number one guy. Like, at some point, I mean, I'd rather make him the number one guy and let Norm or Tyler play off that and maybe get some threes going. Like, that's kind of the outlook I kind of see them getting into.
Well, all right. So with getting everybody back, like, how much do you think this is Tyler coming back? Because that's the thing everybody wants to go to, even if it's just by
he gave the look.
Chance of record. So, like, what factor has that played in? That just everybody was in a flow. You bring in a high usage guy was your all-star last year. I understand these aren't like, you can't just bench them, and say, hey, hit the bricks. Like, but how much do you think that's kind of clogged things up or messed things up or played a part into all of this?
So I'm not one of those that's going to say that Tyler coming back is like the reason why all this is happening. I think that's a little too far. But I think there's a natural human ability here where everybody, look, in this new NBA, everybody reads everything, everybody sees everything, everybody sees all the reactions and all this stuff. Where in the back of everybody's heads when Tyler's coming back, it's like, well, we got to make this right. Like, we cannot make this look clogged up. We cannot make it look a certain way. Like, we have to make this look smooth. Like, and in back of Tyler's head as well. Like, I think he's played well individually for a good portion of his return with dealing with still the soreness that he's dealing with. But I think he even is trying to make it so obviously comfortable in this new offense, which is in a situation that really isn't comfortable for him. Like, I don't mean that saying that he doesn't fit this offense, but like, he is legitimately having to work one-on-one in isolation anytime he has the ball in the perimeter. Like, there's no screens. He mentioned the first game he came back, it's like, I almost motioned for Kel'el to come set me a screen a couple times. Like, I'm so used to doing that. He's been doing it since high school. He did it in college. He's done it his entire life. That it is a little bit of an adjustment. I think he could figure out individually. But like I said, that number I brought up with the four guys getting 9 assists last night compared to Davion getting 9 himself is kind of telling of what's happening right now. I mean, I just think they're all knowing they have to score early in the clock. They know that they all have to go get a bucket themselves. I just feel like early in the season, it wasn't all early clock. It was 5 swings. It was drive, kick, shot. It was like constantly on a wheel of moving the basketball, where now it's becoming an offense of isolation, but not a lot of movement. And right. I'm not saying that's Tyler, but I'm saying that's what happens when you have 4 guys that need shot attempts that have to work a one-on-one. And this is ultimately what happens. So, like, this is also what happens when the game starts to become more of a half-court game. I mean, we didn't have any half-court games early in the season. It was all fast break. It was all transition. They're still high in transition usage, but it's dropped off. Like, it's dropped off big time over the last few weeks. They're not be able to get to it. That's been the one adjustment teams are making. They're shutting that water off early. They're not letting you get down the floor early. And that's kind of where I see Tyler getting a lot of his threes is like early clock transition, pull-up threes that he loves to take, or kind of, finding some space off the ball in the wing. It's become a half-court game. So Miami's got to figure this thing out. I think it's about body movement. It's about player movement. I don't think they're just going to abort the game plan and go, more screens and everything. But the Tyler thing is kind of heating up a little bit because, I mean, it's been a situation again where they play well without him. He comes back. And, I mean, Tobin, I'll give you credit. You said this to me the day that Tyler got injured in the offseason. You said you did predict it. You said they're going to get off to a hot start without Tyler and that this is going to happen. And it's pretty much been dead on. I mean, this is the storyline that always happens.
About it too. This is the thing. Like, I feel bad about it because it's like some of this stuff's bad luck with him. Like, it's like, and now it's like even him, like he said, well, maybe I came back 2 weeks too soon. Maybe,
you can't do that.
Like
you can't do that. Though.
So I understand, but it's like, I don't want it to be a thing, but it's impossible to ignore And it's like, it's not that's the problem with it. It's impossible to ignore, even if it doesn't feel like it's all on him. It's just like you said, it kind of feels a little crowded. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is they're so used to playing in a movement offense, and the movements are different. And now you find the guys who are having success are the guys who can play isolation basketball, and that Davion's going to break somebody off. Jaime is going to use his footwork. Kel'el's just tall. Bam is going to have a bigger guy on him. And then you have kind of Norm and Tyler where, yeah, they can dribble, but they're going to take a shot with 3 seconds left to go on the shot clock and slow everything down. And I think you just need to find a way to keep things moving for those guys so it's in rhythm. Because now it just looks like they'll throw the ball around a couple of times, right? Bam is standing on top of the key. If Kel'el's in the game, he's dancing back and forth inside the painted area. And then Norm and Tyler are just out there dribble. Whereas Davion, you look at Jaime Jaquez, they're attacking and doing things a little bit different. So maybe they need to bring back some pick and roll just to get those two guys moving. Not necessarily to change the offense, but just to get them attacking the rim.
You don't want to look. You also don't want to make it look like Norm and Tyler are like taking turns. I mean, I remember they used to talk about with Boston with Tatum and Brown for a little bit, where it was like it was one of them at a certain time. You want them to play off each other. I'm at the point right now with you're trying to fast track this whole thing, where like the whole thing is about staggering Norm and Tyler. I wouldn't do it. I want to see those guys play together. I want to see those guys figure it out, put them out there.
Give one of them a role. Give one of them a role and say, this week we're going to do it this way.
Somebody has to sacrifice. I mean, D-Wade did it, right? So, like, somebody's going to have to sacrifice here in the offense to a certain degree. Not saying they have to take a total drop-off in shot attempts or roll, but I think at some point you just cannot do that type of style. And here's the thing, when you're not staggering the two, you give Jaime Jaquez back his lineup. Like, you let him go be that bench guy as the first option off the bench. They can go attack, play their style. I mean, it's also a little bit harder to do, I will say this, because the bench just hasn't been as good as it was in the season as a whole. I mean, you had Fontecchio that was clicking early in the season. That has not been the case. I mean, birthday Fontecchio is not equal to birthday Duncan. You had Kel'el Ware, who's getting a decent bunch of minutes. Pella's hurt now. So, like, the bench is taking a little bit of a hit. But I still think they have to prioritize getting Jaquez going again off the bench and maybe running a little bit more of his own lineups and letting Norm and Tyler go figure it out. Like, go play off one another, trying to run. I'm not against them mixing in a little bit of pick and roll. I mean, they've done it late in games. I mean, Norm and Bam did it in that one game late in the game. I think it was Orlando. Like, they can get to it at certain points. It's just about not falling. Because, like, the thing is, if you do it a little bit, you'll fall into the trap of doing it a whole lot. Like, if you give somebody a little bit of it, they'll take advantage of it. It's like, well, we're running it there. Well, let me call for a screen and get back to it. So, like, that's the issue with kind of leaning into it slightly, is because I could totally see them, like, just getting away from this new offense if they start getting a taste of some, like, pick and roll basketball again.
Brady, you think they're being unfair to Kel'el? He should be getting more than 12 minutes, especially 100%. Against a team, especially like a team like Orlando. It just seems to me like they would be better off, and this team would be better off if they coach him up and get after him rather than just getting fed up and sitting him on the bench.
I totally think he's a scapegoat. I mean, I think that this is like their way of coaching. I mean, I think this is how you coach a guy like that up, that you want to constantly stay on him and keep him engaged because you don't want him getting bored of this. Like, you want to stay on him. But you know how else you get bored? By sitting on the bench for 36 minutes, like that's another way of getting bored and not being engaged. He's so much better when he's in the game, active, specifically touching the ball. I mean, the games when he's scoring is his best all-around games. Like, when he's engaged into the game, like, you have to kind of lean into that. So, I mean, I think they're being hard on him for a reason, because they know he's this good. Like, they know he can get to a certain level. But, I mean, when you're at this point in the year where you lose 5 of 6 games, you're on a 4-game losing streak, you're playing bigger teams, I don't really see this being the learning curve time of the season to, like, sit him down and not play him. So, as I said before, like, I don't really think it's like, this isn't a case where it's like, well, we're playing him 12 minutes because we need to play Bam an insane amount of minutes, which has been the case with past years. Like, we playing Bam 36 to 40 minutes, so backup big's not going to play as much. They play well together. I mean, as much as the numbers don't say it defensively, I think the bigger lineups still provide positive minutes for this team, especially when you're trying to wall off the stuff that we were talking about earlier. When you're playing smaller with Davion, Norm, and Tyler in there, it's not the worst thing to wall up on the backside and see if you can get some length on some of these front court teams. So they just have to play the guy. I mean, let him figure it out. I mean, the 3-ball has looked good this season. He's scored well. He's played confident. Defensively, he's had lapses. We knew that was coming. We knew he wasn't going to be this defensive. As much as Bam propped him up into being that a couple of times in post-game interviews, he's not a defense player of the year candidate this year. Like we know he's going to have lapses. But I think you're worse off sitting him for 36 minutes than having a few bad defensive possessions with him in the game.
Go check out Brady Hawk's work, 5 Reasons Sports, si.com/heat. Does a great job writing there. Go check out his threads on YouTube, or on Twitter, Brady Hawk 305. Appreciate the time, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
sir. Thank you guys for having me.